Hey guys, welcome back into Rover Sports. Today I wanted to look at the New York Jets, and what I really wanted to do is I wanted to look at New York, and I wanted to just see where the Jets pretty much screwed up the first quarter of play. So I'm in condensed right now, and let's go out, make it a full screen right here, guys, and I have the New York Jets. I have I have pretty much all of their names down on the offensive and defensive lines. And let's get right into the film review, guys. So, without any further ado, here we go. So, Mitchell Trubisky takes the snap. He fakes out 51, which is Brandon Copeland, but also Jamal Adams was also undisciplined on this play. And I know it's like rare. It's like almost, being sacrilegious to ever criticize number 33 on the New York Jets. But right here, it's appropriate because Jamal Adams is going to come up, and it's a read option play by Mitchell Trubisky, where Mitchell is reading Copeland's eyes, and he reads that really well. And Copeland, was going to be able to go ahead and tackle Howard. So it's not like Copeland did a terrible job. But then Jamal Adams also went with him. Nobody was under contain. Luckily, Adams kind of chases him down to the sideline, and it's not like Maurice Claiborne was really being a superhero either or helping out. Second down again, you have Copeland here, and Copeland now is at home on the Mitchell Trubisky read. There, he doesn't explode into the... basically, the Bears are 2 for 1-ing the Jets right here, which means that Copeland is really put in a bind. Because here the receiver takes them out. So it's really 2 versus 1. And here Copeland, he could have made a better effort there, Brandon Copeland, to go out and get Jordan Howard to the ground. He did not do that, so that's kind of a mistake. 58 tries to clog the hole. The hole is clogged very well. There you see 72 for the Chicago Bears. Abuses Leonard Williams, and Leonard Williams just gets pushed off the football, and that was a very, very kind of sad state of affairs with running the football. There you see the nose guard for the Jets then give him a free first down. That is number 99, Steve McClendon, gives the Chicago Bears a first down. So overall, a lot of these are good calls by Chicago in the first quarter, though. Here looks like a good play. Leonard Williams, it's a zone run, and McClendon's able to get him to the ground eventually. A really good push by the Bears offensive line. Leonard Williams a little overeager. Here's a play where I believe we got a play action fake. 58 tries to come in. That's Darren Lee. Takes a bad angle, and Josh Bellamy blocks him beautifully. But here's a problem. Maurice Claiborne showing so much fear. Watch Maurice Claiborne. He's already back in zone, and this is such an easy completion for Mitchell Trubisky. He's so horrified of Taylor Gabriel's speed, and we'll get to this later in this episode, but Maurice Claiborne is not even in the frame. Not even in the frame guarding Taylor Gabriel. For a coach that prides himself on utilizing defensive backs, that technique is just never going to be an elite technique. And that's a bend not break kind of BS way of doing things. Here they call a nice play out to Anthony Miller. A good design again by the Chicago Bears. Leonard Williams just gets completely abused in the middle of the field. He gets dragged to the ground like a rag doll. Look at Leonard Williams right here going up against this right tackle for the Chicago Bears. Leonard comes inside, and Leonard just gets pancaked to the ground. He just gets tossed aside. Big time block by the Chicago Bears. And then on the outside, these receivers, here you have Roberts here, who, again, is getting blocked badly by Kevin White. And Kevin White's actually healthy this year. Then you get some pushing and shoving. 2nd and 3, I think we got a good stop here. We do. excellent, excellent pursuit by the Jets. Let's go back and look at something that they actually did well in the first quarter, which was excellent pursuit of the football. So here the Jets, shoot. Sorry. I want to get to the pursuit. 97 does a brilliant job. So overall, here it's Nathan Shepard does a brilliant, brilliant job. I think McClendon's there to clean up. Darren Lee, great surge by the Jets there on a predictable call. And then you are going to see a fantastic, fantastic edge rush here. We are going to get here number 93, Terrell Basham from the Indianapolis Colts. Actually comes in here, and I was a fan of Basham. I can't believe that Basham was actually released. Basham was like a guy out of like NC State that I really, really liked. And there you see Darren Lee, or no, you actually see Brandon Copeland stretching out and actually making a really athletic play on Mitchell Trubisky. Cody Parkey misses the field goal, and now the Jets take over. You get a false start penalty here. You get an infraction there, a procedural penalty, which is par for the course for the New York Jets. But now you're staring at 1st and 15 here. So on 1st and 15, you run power up the middle. 77 actually does a really nice job there for the Jets. James Carpenter. A lot of times he doesn't do a good job, but on that particular play, you can see that he did a decent job with the Jets running the football. But then on 2nd and 11, I mean, go back, you look at how much space the Bears here are playing this cover 2 look where the middle of the field is wide open, so you can easily run a slant behind this coverage. Especially if you go play action, you can hold these linebackers all here. You have all this space to run an out route here, especially since this guy is playing inside leverage. What you could do is you can run, and then you could do a comeback route and utilize the entire sideline on this guy. Right here, this guy is giving you plenty of cushion. So you can easily get from 2nd and 11, and you can throw a little hitch route, get from 2nd and 11 to 3rd and 4. But what does Jeremy Bates decides to do? He decides to run it right up the gut. And there you see the Jets defensive line does a nice, the offensive line does a good job of pushing, but Crowell, he pretty much doesn't, the Jets offensive line gets a push, but not a good enough push, and it's a terrible, terrible call there by Jeremy Bates. And then you get 3rd and 10, which is very low percentage. The offensive line here does a good job of picking this up. Kelvin Beachum here stands really strong. And the pocket is decent, but that hitch right there by Sam Darnold was a piece of crap. I mean, what the heck is Sam Darnold doing right here? What is Sam Darnold doing right here? He's like Pegasus right here. He slides, okay, but you never want to hop off the ground. This is a horrible move by Sam Darnold. Hopping off the ground, the ball is not really protected when he's in this, and the guy's open right here. So when Sam Darnold is in this state, this is not a good position to throw the football. This is bad footwork, bad pocket awareness by Sam Darnold. He doesn't slide out to the right. He can slide out to the right and hit this dude right here. Instead, he's just hanging in the pocket. He hops, and then off of his right leg, look at his feet are parallel when he's making this throw. I mean, look at him spring up like that. He has no power, none at all. And he sails this late across the middle of the field, and he's lucky it wasn't a turnover. Awful pocket mobility and horrible play calling as well. And then, you know how we said Mo Claiborne? You know how we said that Mo Claiborne was giving Taylor Gabriel all that space? Well, Taylor Gabriel took Mo Claiborne out to the roller skating rink. He bought him a pair of skates, and he put him on skates. He literally said, "Hey, Mo, let's go skate." Because that's what happened. Whoop! Skating. Mo Claiborne. Insert Chris Berman. What? Then the Bears decide to not run the read option. Brandon Copeland does a good job putting his hand in the air. Incomplete pass out to Trey Burton. Better defense by the Jets. Then look at the pressure here. Good pressure up the middle from the Jets. A great blitz by Jamal Adams. But this is the problem with this play. This ended up being a deal-breaking play because not this one, but the next one. The bottom line here is that the New York Jets, and specifically when you look back at this play, you got to have somebody home guarding against Tariq Cohen. You got to have safeties. You got to have people. And this is Casey Rogers' fault. This is all on Todd Bowles here. Because Jamal Adams does his job. He blitzes from the right side. So you're getting a good push. It's a great call by Matt Nagy here. So bottom line is 54. I believe this is 54. He needs to be covering Tariq Cohen. You need to do your scouting reports. You need to understand that Tariq Cohen out of the backfield is super dangerous. And you can't just be ignoring him there. You need to do a job of actually, I know that Tariq Cohen is in the fray blocking, but you can't just, somebody should have the responsibility of watching what is going on in the backfield. Somebody should have Tariq Cohen as responsibility here, okay? And the bottom line here with Tariq Cohen is that Darren Lee, but really the guy who's at fault here is Avery Williamson. Way too aggressive, no gap discipline. Avery Williamson was the weak side linebacker here, the weak inside linebacker, right where this play is located. And then, of course, we have Marcus May. Who knows what he's doing? He's in la-la land out here. So this play is a freaking disaster. And it ends up being a touchdown because nobody's home. The linebackers have terrible communication. There you see there, Darren Lee and Avery Williamson. Everybody gets completely fooled by Matt Nagy, and this play results in a long-ass touchdown. A disastrous play to start the football game. Jets here get the football back. Listen, Sam did hesitate a little bit on the throw, but he was able to hit Jermaine Kearse. Good accurate ball by Sam Darnold on Bryce Callahan. Callahan had a great play on Kearse in the first half. Then you get a little bit of rhythm. You then run a read option, and this is just brilliant pursuit by the Chicago Bears right here. So right here, we should probably open up a tab for Chicago. Try to figure out what they're doing, because here's a read option from Sam Darnold, and I'll tell you who did a great job on the Chicago Bears. I'll tell you in a second who did a great job. The Bears ended up winning this game. Spoiler alert, the Bears looking really good in the game so far that we are covering. I'm going to be going quarter by quarter, and I am going to be telling y'all what's going on. Trying to tell you from my perspective. Roquan Smith from the University of Georgia. Roquan Smith gets inside here and he shoots through the gap, which is a wide open allocated A gap, because the Jets player Brian Winters is somehow not chipping at all. So Roquan Smith is unallocated there to the player. It's a good read by Sam, but Sam's got to now step on it. His posture is terrible for this read option. He's not fast coming out of the break. It's not swift with Sam Darnold there. His back leg should not be bent like that. That is completely wrong of Sam Darnold to be doing that. So Sam Darnold then gets to the edge, gets a couple of yards, 3rd and 3 coming up for the Jets. So here you can run it or pass it. It was a fairly athletic play. Then we have a procedural penalty on Brandon Shell. Again, I think that might be the 3rd penalty of the game, Then the Jets, you have open spaces here. You get a great throw to Jermaine Kearse by Sam Darnold where he looks off the defender. The timing is perfect. This is a very, very special throw by Sam Darnold, and this is what has made Sam good so far. He looks off the defenders. He gets Jermaine Kearse where he wants him, and it's a very, very good throw against Bryce Callahan, a matchup that they eyed up and a matchup that they like. So now you have a lot of momentum. It's 1st and 10, and the Bears are in completely zero coverage. There is no deep safety here. So look at this. Bryce Callahan is guarding Jermaine Kearse, and Bryce Callahan is playing outside leverage. So Jermaine Kearse right here, this can be an automatic touchdown, especially if these linebackers get sucked in on a play action, because especially if you run a post against outside leverage, you are going to have a touchdown. Look at all this field you have to work with here. This could be a dead touchdown right here. This is the look where you take your shot and you get a touchdown. This is zero coverage. They are basically begging Jeremy Bates to run the football. Or basically they are saying they're begging Jeremy Bates they're expecting Jeremy Bates to run the ball. And they're saying, hey, Jeremy, throw the ball, because if you run the ball, we're just going to stuff it every time. So they're kind of even daring Sam Darnold to be aggressive. And they're almost mocking the Jets, like, throw the football on us. Instead, the Jets hand off here. There's no audibles being done. It's the most basic run in the middle of the field. There you see 77 there. James Carpenter, he's all the way back here. Look at him standing back here. That's never a good sign when your lineman is back there. They barely get any push. You know, Akeem Hicks is a good football player. And then they decide to run the same dang play again. But you got to give credit there to James Carpenter. He had a much better block on the second play. Good vision by Crowell. The Jets end up then getting stuffed because watch on 3rd and 1. A terrible pull by the Jets guard, Brandon Shell. He does a horrible job of getting out here. Look at how slow Brandon Shell is with turning the corner. This is not an athletic move from a guard, okay? Or actually, it's Carpenter. Look at Carpenter there. Carpenter has no idea what he's doing. He has no idea about his assignment. There's no urgency in his speed. And James Carpenter there does not get over quickly. And first of all, what a play by Akeem Hicks, because it looks like, Akeem Hicks is going to be stacked up there against the line, because this is 3rd and 1. It looks like Akeem Hicks is going to be stacked. If we pause it right here, it looks like we have a good block here on Leonard Floyd, which we do have. And then I believe Hicks is right here, so it looks like our right tackle there, Brandon Shell, is actually doing his job. But really, he ends up getting shedded by Akeem Hicks. Then 4th and 1, the Jets do decide to go for it. Good throw by Sam. No real qualms or problems. And now we are into the second quarter. So I hope you guys will continue to watch this series. It's a 4-part series on the New York Jets. It highlights each quarter what the Jets did wrong, time management issues, everything that the Jets did wrong. And if your team loses, you might be on the list. Maybe we can come up with a creative title like the Rover Mistakes, or the Mistakes of, or Rover Aches. We can come up with whatever the heck we want to do here. So maybe this one was a little bit lengthy. This was the first part of a 4-part series. I'll probably release part 2 tonight. Part 2 is the second quarter mistakes for the New York Jets. And hopefully you guys learned. Hopefully you guys learned that there was some mediocre offensive line play. I would say the calling of Jeremy Bates was terrible. Just to give a synopsis, I'd say Maurice Claiborne missed on a lot of plays. I'd say that James Carpenter was very slow in pulling. I would say that Sam Darnold's pocket awareness was poor, especially on that 3rd and 10. I thought that was a terrible play. I thought that that Avery Williamson and Darren Lee allowed that long Cohen touchdown to occur. I thought that Jamal Adams was not gap disciplined on some of the runs that were transpiring. And I think that the Jets play calling, though, with Jeremy Bates on that zero coverage, that could have been a wide open touchdown to Jermaine Kearse. So it could have been 7-all. But luckily, it wasn't a terrible quarter. There weren't a lot of turnovers, but there were 3 procedural penalties. So the offensive line really played poorly. And overall, not a lot of explosive plays. The defense had some good plays against the run. But in terms of hitting Trubisky, we only had 1 Darren Lee sack in that quarter. So, all right, let's get on to the next quarter and see if we can do better against the Chicago Bears. Thanks, guys. Let's do this soon.